It's 9 a.m. on Saturday morning at RescueVerse Con in Chicago.
None of us have slept properly in 2 weeks.
Not since Tim Minear name dropped us in a TV Line article and our brains stopped working.
But we are running on adrenaline and convention energy because we are about to be some of the first people Oliver Stark and Ryan Guzman meet at their very first fan convention.
No pressure. We also have 5 poses planned.
There was a spreadsheet involved. Clipboard hand was activated.
It's finally our turn. I walk up and say, "Hi, welcome to your first convention. Apologies in advance. You're about to be very sick of us." The boys laugh.
I hit the ground for the totem pole pose. Han hands them the sign. We're getting into position. Everything is fine. We are normal people. So normal.
And then Oliver Stark, Chaos Demon, looks at the sign and goes,
"Did you know this is Tim's favorite podcast?"
"Picture me, frozen, bamboozled." I try to get my wits about me and say very intelligently, he mentioned it in TV Line.
Oliver looks up, looks at the sign, looks at the three of us, does an actual double take, and says, "Wait, is this you?" The three of us freeze. There's a photographer waiting and a line of 911 fans behind us.
And the three of us responded with variations of nervous laughter and, yeah.
And Ryan Guzman goes, "Oh," in the background.
It's 9 a.m. Chris Schmokey needs to take this photo. There are so many people waiting.
We finally get into position.
The photo gets taken.
And that was just the first couple minutes of our weekend.
So this week, we're taking a break from episode breakdowns to give you a full guide to RescueVerse Con, what to expect, how to prepare, and how to make the most of your weekend.
We're walking through everything from photo ops and autographs to meet and greets and budgeting, and answering all the questions our buddies sent in.
And we'll be sharing our own experience from Chicago throughout. So welcome to our RescueVerse special. We have been wanting to do this, but we had to keep reporting the news on the actual show that we have a convention about.
There were actual episodes airing, and we were just like, but we just want to talk about the convention.
Yeah. We had to wait, but now it's hiatus, so we can finally talk about it. So hi, welcome. This is that special, and we're going to not just talk about our experience. We're going to really get into what you can expect if you're looking to go to one. Our credentials aren't just that we went to this con, it's that we've been to so many cons. I'm pretty sure that Rachel and Sil have been to a normal person amount of cons, but I've been to an amount that is in the double digits. That starts.
I've hit double digits.
I think you guys both hit double digits. I'm normal.
Not as many as you, but I ran out of hands.
Yeah, I've been to 30 cons. I've been to it's probably high 20s or in the 30s. I stopped counting after I got to 22 because I was like, this is too many. I don't want to keep track anymore.
You have all of the photo ops and stuff to remember.
Yeah. So we've been to quite a few conventions, and most of them have been creation. I've also been to a few that are not. So
have I. Just a couple though.
So have you been to any that aren't creation?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've also been to Miami SuperCon, a couple of anime conventions, other Comic Con conventions.
Cool. Yeah. So local ones and not just TV shows. And so we have a good basis for comparison between a bunch of different convention companies and creation specifically. But I think the majority of our experience is with creation. So we're very correct. We're kind of very well versed in how they work.
Yeah, and in case you have been to regular Comic Cons, or you just are more familiar with how those work, we're just gonna go over what makes creation cons kind of different and special in our opinion. They've been around for over 50 years, so they've been doing this for a hot minute. I think they're most well known for their Star Trek conventions. That is I think those were their first ones, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's kind of their bread and butter. So before conventions were cool, in the last became cool in the last 20 years or so, creation has been doing this for so long. So when people would think about the weird Trekkies going to their weird conventions, it was them.
These were the weird conventions they were going to.
Yeah. So like they also have been around the block. They know how to put on these events. And one of the reasons why they're in business so many years later is because they do a good job.
Yes. And I think something that they do that's specific to them and not other fan conventions is that they really hone in on like a specific show or a subgenre and build it out to be special for the fans of that specific thing. So like obviously there's Star Trek, there's Supernatural, they do the Vampire Diaries. I think they do Stranger Things and a bunch of other ones. And now they're branching out into these kind of like subgenre ones where they're doing like a Broadway one from page to screen where it's, you know, like
romance books and adaptations. Yeah.
Yep. And then we have RescueVerse, which is about television show first responders. So like
kind of like the umbrella. It's interesting because they've historically done like so specific, like one show focus, and now they're branching out a little bit. So it's interesting to see like how they kind of are evolving a little bit, but it's still different than like one of these big conventions. Like I've gone to MegaCon in Orlando before. That's like one of the biggest, I think the biggest one in Florida. And it's huge, but it runs the gamut of all of these different shows and genres and everything like that. So it's nice that Creation really like hones in on a specific show or type of show.
So the experience is a little different at Creation Cons than at Comic Cons because obviously it's really focused on the like one show or the one like group of subgenre that it's focused on. So you're going to get a more like personalized experience. I find that because it's smaller, you get a lot more like intimate kind of feeling like with the fans because you're there with a bunch of other people who love the same thing as you. And it's not just like, oh, you're running into them randomly. It's like, no, pretty much everyone who's there also likes the thing that you like, which is cool. It makes it easier to like meet friends. The volunteers and everyone who works there, they want you to have a good time. And it's really important to them to make sure that you have a good experience. So they're really great, whether they're working at registration or like volunteers who are just like helping you get from place to place.
All of the volunteers are wonderful.
Yeah.
And they really do care. They want you to have a good experience. And I feel like that is something that does set Creation apart because it's so like they want to create a personalized experience.
Yeah.
Because it is smaller. So the way they like schedule everything is always about like making sure that you get the experience that you want.
Yeah.
And you get to see and do everything that you want to do without too many like conflicts, which tends to happen with larger cons because there could be like a photo op over there and a panel over there because there's so many different shows or movies being represented. So it's more tailored for you.
Yeah. And also, like, if you do have conflicts that are like, you have to be at this thing, but you also have this thing scheduled at the same time. Like, we had that happen with our first op, and we had a Kenny meet and greet. And it was like, okay, well, here's what you're going to do. And you're just going to go take these couple ops with Ryan and Oliver really quick, and then we'll go to the Kenny meet and greet. And like, most of like, I want to say like 6 of the 10 people who were supposed to be in Kenny's meet and greet were with us in line, like in line to do the Ryan and Oliver ops at the very beginning of the line. Yeah. So they're really
and they weren't going to start it without everybody there.
Without everyone there. And
the volunteers are excellent about making sure that you get everything that you paid for.
Exactly.
And grabbing the guests when they can and just like really making sure that everything comes to fruition.
Yeah. And I would say for me, one of the biggest things that makes Creation Cons a Creation Con and makes it like better than any other convention experience could be is Chris Schmelke.
Yes.
Who is the photographer in the photo op room. And he is at, I think, pretty much every convention unless they have 2 scheduled on one weekend.
He's the best.
He is amazing. Like we talked about how everyone at Creation wants you to have a good experience. He does the most.
He's part of the experience.
I think so. Like he has built the photo op experience to be what it is, like based on what he didn't like about photo op experiences in other cons. So first of all, there's music playing. It's not just like dead silence. He's playing music like for the cons where their actors are there like often. He gets to know them. He makes playlists for specific actors, which is really cute.
Like he does for the Supernatural people.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely.
Yes. But like it's always like upbeat stuff that's gonna like
keep the vibes.
Keep you like dancing or singing in the line. So like if you have anxiety, you can like literally like shake it off while you're in line like dancing with your friends. It also makes it so that when you're up getting your photo op, like people can't hear what you're saying or what they're saying to you. So like that kind of takes away some anxiety. And it also there's like a curtain behind where he is. So only like you who is up there getting your photo taken and like the first 2 to 3 people in line can even see behind that curtain.
It adds a little more like privacy and just like comfortability. So you're not doing whatever photo op pose you want to do in front of so many people.
In front of the entire line of people.
He really has like honed in on how to make the photo op a fun and energetic, but also like personal experience.
And it's not just the experience itself, it's the actual photo. He takes better photos than literally anyone, and he's the only person who is cropping and editing it to make it look nicer for you.
He's a magician.
Every single, like, you get a printout, like the price of your ticket, your photo op ticket includes the printout, and it's like beautiful, glossy, but it's actually edited. So like it's cropped and color corrected. And when you like order the JPEG, you can get the unedited one, but it's like, it's just different. Like every other convention I've been to, even if I've liked my poses, how they've turned out, like it's never like cropped. It's never edited well. Like I always have to do that in post. So.
And we'll talk about that a little more when we get into like some of the experiences and activities that you can do at one of these.
But it's just like no one's doing it like Chris Schmelke. And to me, when it was like, oh, they're doing conventions, and our 911 people are going to be there, I was like, it's worth it for Chris Schmelke ops.
Oh, yeah.
You always know you're going to get a good photo with him.
Yeah, like I can give you an example of a really bad photo. Which was I did a Hugh Jackman meet and greet in New York. It was his one-man show, yes, but I forgot what the show was called. It was like With Love or New York with Love or something like that.
New York with Love?
Yeah, something like that. And I did a meet and greet with him, and like the photographer, like just the quality of that photo, unprofessional, bad lighting. It was in a dark room, and those were a couple hundreds of dollars that I spent. Ooh, big regret. So
and that's like an A-list actor,
and that's an A-list actor.
Yeah, you want a good photo. Yeah, so that's just like a little bit of what makes creation conventions stand out and why we continue to go back to them like after so many years. So just kind of like before we get into like more of the specifics and like the nitty gritty, here's a very general of like what you can expect when you go to Creation Con. So and RescueVerse specifically, as it's put on by Creation Entertainment, they're currently 2-day events. So Saturday and Sundays. I think the supernatural ones are still 3 days, maybe a couple other events as well. But the RescueVerse are 2-day events with about 12 guests average and appearing over those 2 days from an array of the first responder shows like 911 and its franchises Lone Star and Nashville. The One Chicago franchises, they have guests from The Rookie, NCIS, Fire Country, and I think a few more, but that's the majority of it.
The weekends host like Q&A panels with the actors, opportunities to take photos with the guests at photo ops and selfies. You can get autographs and have face-to-face time with the guests and meet and greets.
Creation offers some additional activities and experiences like Vendor's Room, which is kind of like an artist's alley, and other Saturday evening programming. So for like example, the Supernatural conventions did like concert where all of the actors and actresses sang covers of songs. I think Fridays they did karaoke as well. So hopefully like as RescueVerse conventions continue, we maybe something with our main actors. Maybe there'll be some additional programming with our main actors on the week.
And it's just basically, if you haven't gone to a convention before, it's just a really wonderful opportunity to connect with other fans in one place to celebrate the thing that we all have in common. Like, I know so many of us are like talking online and social media and everything like that, but especially with Creation Cons, because it's so focused and specific, it's like everybody you meet is already interested in the same thing. So you already have stuff in common. And it's basically just like a great bonding experience and a place to make new friends. Highly recommend.
So we're going to jump into all of the experience events and activities that are available at RescueVerse Cons now and just kind of like break them down and answer some of your questions here. So first are photo ops. I think that's the most what everyone online has seen and heard about because, well, there's pictures.
It's photographic evidence that you were
photographic
there.
evidence, yes. But as we described earlier, Chris Schmelke is the photographer, and you go up and you take a picture with an actor or an assorted amount of actors. And the Scarlet Mermaid on Instagram asked, how much time do you have during the photo ops? Like none. Like not a lot of time.
It goes very quickly.
Yeah. Our friend Alexa said that she watched videos of photo ops on YouTube to get a better idea of how fast it goes.
Yeah, so photo ops do go really fast. You will kind of black out and think that you didn't look at the camera, but don't worry because you probably did.
You did, or Schmelke will have been again, or directed you. If you aren't looking at the camera, first of all, if you're taking too long, the volunteers will be okay, very gently, encourage you to go faster, or be how can we help move this along? Mm-hmm. But Schmelke is really good about looking at the photo to be if you're just literally not looking anywhere near the camera, he'll just be and again, we're going to take the photo.
Yeah.
Again, and instruct you to hey, look at the camera or whatever was wrong.
Yeah. They don't necessarily catch it every time, but he is really good about looking at that real time. Our next question is from Mendoza on our Discord. So when you walk up to the guest, what do you or they say first? How does the interaction start off? That is always kind of the most anxiety inducing aspect of it, right? Because it's what do you say? How do you, and we have a couple questions talking about how do you ask for the pose you want to do?
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe you guys would be a better example because I just walk up and I go, hey, can we do this? I walk up, I talk first. I ask the question exactly what I want them to do because I try to, as much as possible, form it as a question. I think I had to a bit because we had so many ops and this was their first con. I kind of had to go up and be boom, boom, boom. You stand here, you stand there for some of them. But
I think it depends on the experience because or the actor, because I think you already had a rapport with these guys from the beginning. So after our sign up, I think it was kind of just directing them at that point. But normally I think what you want to do, because I'm going to use the supernatural conventions as an example, because those are the ones that I've done minimal and I don't really have a rapport with the actors anyway. I would go and I would be can we do this? Or hi, can we do this? So be prepared with the pose and just kindly ask them, hey, can we do X, Y, and Z pose? Just, make sure it's appropriate.
And if you don't ask or you don't say anything, if you're too nervous to say anything, you're probably going to get just you stand next to each other with an arm around you. Or if it's Ryan Guzman, probably some form of a hug.
A hug.
Because he loves those.
All the time.
Oh my God, right? He wanted to go for a hug all the time. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. Every time, yeah.
But yeah, I think generally what I've done previously when I don't have more detailed poses, I just kind of I've gone up, I've said, hi, it's nice to meet you. And then can I have a hug or something like that? Just really quick. And then thank you. Always make sure to say thank you when you leave too, because
if you remember,
if you remember,
because you might black out.
There is a possibility of blacking out completely. And just did I say thank you?
Of all the experiences, photo ops is the hardest to remember. The entire interaction of because it goes so fast.
Yeah, there's a lot of
and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, like that music again. The lights are bright, but the vibes are good.
Yeah,
it's just a lot at once, and then it's done.
Yeah,
so it's kind of high adrenaline, and then coming off that
exactly.
That's why also the volunteers are really great, and they're there to be fan support as well. So if you're really anxious before getting the photo op or even afterwards, because I know, going off that high of the adrenaline, it starts to come down. It's oh my God, I did that, So rely on the volunteers. That's fine too. Now, Joanne and Sarah asked, how do you go about asking for the pose you want to do?
And just ask.
Just be hey, can we do a hug?
Ask.
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
Yeah. You just ask, hey, can we do if you ask it in a form of a question, it's I think the most respectful way that you can ask for it. The 3 actors who have already been from 911, all down for hugs. We planned some alternate things the night before, just in case any of them had no touch rules, because that is something that happens sometimes with guests. Yeah. So we were we better be prepared just in case.
So also different guests have different comfortability and different boundaries as well. I think the volunteers will inform ahead of time as well.
Or they'll tell you if you have a prop. Like our friend Lauren, work some of these cons, and she was working this one, and she came out and told us ahead of time, like, it's Jensen rules for Oliver, which meant like,
which was such shorthand, but we were like, okay,
like
great.
Supernatural shorthand, because it's like Jensen's pretty much down to do anything, but like he's not putting a hat on unless it's a cowboy hat because he has a cowboy fetish,
you know. As one does.
Yes. So like we knew that, but we had a hat in line for the op that we did with him holding it above his head. And we were going to ask, can you hold this above your head? But the people working the room said he won't put that on. And we were like, oh, we know. We're just going to ask him to like hold it above his head. And they were like, okay, well, he might still not want to. And we were like, it's fine. We'll just ask. Yeah. So like they'll tell you, like, if you're holding something that they think might be a problem, they'll let you know.
Yes. Now, just to illustrate some of the difference, Oliver was fine just like holding that hat above his head. Ryan, however,
who we said the same thing. We said, I both said, can you hold it above? Can you just hold it above your head? Like pretend to put it on.
And he was like, no, I can put it on. All three of us were like, no, you don't have to, like very clearly. And he's like, no, I'm going to do it.
Like, no, I'll put it on.
Like, I'll put it on. I don't care. We were like, okay. But it was because he wanted to, and we made it very clear that he did not have to. So, again, just like those different levels of comfort between each guest.
And I would say if you think that you're particularly going to have a hard time talking to them or asking them for your pose, you can have a reference photo.
Yeah, that helps.
And you can have that ready on your phone to show to one of the volunteers and say, like, hey, can you show this to them? Which they will do. They'll take your phone. You have to be okay with them taking your phone because you can't like have your phone out yourself when you walk up there. And they will show them the picture and then do the pose that way.
Did we even do references?
We never showed them anything. No. I just directed them because I was like, listen, I don't even, I was like, they are not seasoned enough to like look at a reference photo and be like, yeah, got it. No. They'll just be like, which one am I? So
I will say also, if you have poses that are a little more, let's say, intricate, it really did help. We practiced beforehand. Yes. And we took reference pictures of us so we could kind of like figure out how to place ourselves.
You want to know what you're doing in the op so that you can direct them for what to do. If it's more complicated than like a hug or like a totem pole, you're still going to have to direct them for a totem pole, I feel. We had to direct them for every single thing we did other than a hug, like a regular hug.
But they took direction very well.
They did. Well, they're actors. I hope so.
Yeah. So we had our friends like Alexa and Ariel like stand in for like Oliver and Ryan and while we were just like, okay, how do we do this? Like a little fire drill kind of scenario.
So,
which was fun to do because then we were more familiar.
Exactly.
And we knew where we had to be.
Yeah.
Less confusion all around. Oh, I will just say, and Joey also asked, or Joey said that like they really want to give them hugs, but absolutely does not want to make anyone uncomfortable or break a boundary. I think the general rule of thumb is if the guest kind of goes in for a hug first, it is a-okay. You can always ask as well.
Always ask. I think all of totally these. Fine. I don't know about Aisha. I assume she would be too. But Oliver, Ryan, and Kenny, all good with hugs.
And they seem just like generally, they seem pretty down for doing some fun, interesting poses as well. And they give great hugs, which are like a staple. So don't worry about that. And that goes for just like, just ask. Or if someone goes for it first, it's probably okay. That like blanket. For any guests.
So yeah, just basic rule of thumb for photo ops is show up knowing what you want, ask them, and or have a reference photo ready, and like just have fun. It's gonna go fast, so just like be prepared to know what you want. Or you can say you pick. It might just be a hug because like they're not like super deep into conventions and photo op poses yet, but you could get a wild card. You never know.
Yeah, like I think a lot of times it worked really well with the supernatural cons to just kind of be, especially since, between us, we've gone to multiple of those. So we've seen those guests before and it's just kind of like, okay, well, we've done a hug, we've done this kind of pose, you pick. And because the supernatural folks had been doing conventions for so long, they kind of like had, I think like a Rolodex of poses maybe like ready to go that they are comfortable with as well. I don't know because it's so early on in the RescueVerse cons, if the 911 people will, but they'll learn quickly. It's fine.
Or you can give them options. That's what I did for Ryan. Yeah. I was like, do you want to do a hug or do you want to do a dance pose? And that's how I randomly got dipped. Not saying that's going to be the outcome for yours, but you could give them options instead of just saying like, what do you want to do? But in general, just like show up, be ready for it to go quickly. So either know what you want or be ready for them to pick something.
Yeah. And then we mentioned this a little earlier, but paying for your JPEGs. So each photo op, you get one printed copy that you can pick up later in the day. They print very quickly, but they put them all out on a table in a designated area. Depends where it is. It's usually closer to the panel room, I think. And they just like lay everybody's out. So it's kind of fun because as you're looking for yours to pick up, you can see like all of the different things that other people did as well. And some people
don't take pictures of those though.
Oh, that's a good point. Don't take pictures of other people's photo ops because that's theirs. But you can peruse and see what people did. And so you get that physical printout and those get printed very quickly.
Yeah.
But what you really want to do is pay for your JPEGs. So with the JPEGs, you receive 2 copies. And I think this is particular to Chris Schmelke and Creation. Yeah. So you get 2 copies. One is the like raw, unedited, more zoomed out. It's a little desaturated copy. And then you get the edited, which is the same as the printout. So you get basically 2 pictures for one price. And I think it's $10 per photo.
And that goes directly to Schmelke. Like it's not going to like Creation and he's getting a cut. Like that goes directly to him.
It's basically like a tip for all his hard work. And he has very long days because he's in that photo op room the whole time.
Yeah. So yeah, you can pay cash at the con and you'll get them like sooner if you pay cash at con, or you can pay via PayPal and that can take up to a couple weeks to receive because they have a lot of cons.
Yeah. I think it's usually within 2 weeks or so. It's not usually longer than that. But yeah. And then you get to support Schmelke, which is always nice.
Yay.
And you get the digital copies that you can use for whatever. Because I'm pretty sure by paying for the JPEGs, technically speaking, you then own the right to the photo.
Yes.
So you can kind of do whatever you want.
For personal use, though, it's like you can't like be like, I'm going to sell copies of this. You know what I mean? But
which
like,
would be weird. But
yeah, it would be weird, but like that's actually like a part of it's like you own this now, but like not for like selling purposes. Yeah,
so like Hannah and Sil were a lot more creative with their individual ops. I was just like, I need to start off with hugs. So that's kind of what I went for each time I had like one of our solo ops, which is just like by myself. What we didn't talk about is like we shared a bunch of photo ops as well. And Creation does this great thing where with one ticket, you can have 2 people.
This great thing.
Well, listen, there are some conventions out there that is one person per ticket. But yeah, so Creation does allow 2 fans in a photo op. But if you have like more than 2 people, you're going to have to buy another photo op ticket, which again, it's for 2, like it's for you and one other person. For some of our shared ops, we had to buy 2 because it's the 3 of us.
I think they have a max too. Is the max 4?
Okay, so yeah, there's a max of at least I believe 4, but always check the website for that information. So I've had some interesting poses, I guess. One of them was my arm wrestling op, which was
that was so fun.
That one, I don't even think you guys were in the line with me. Were you?
No, we missed it.
What a shame, because then, yeah.
I wish I could have seen that.
Yeah, so I go up to them with hand singles and I was like, all right. So I specifically go to the 2. So I go to Ryan and Oliver and I'm like, okay, you 2 are arm wrestling. And like, and then I go to Kenny and I'm like, okay, we're going to cheer them on. Here's $1. You're going to act like you're betting. And I'm going to stand over there behind Ryan. There's a reason why I was like, we're going to do this photo ops there's a little bit of like an inspiration because like, I think someone asked in Ryan's 911 social media takeover who would win in an arm wrestling competition. And he was like, we all know who, but without answering the question. So I was like, all right, we're gonna pose this one out. And
you were inspired.
I was inspired. I don't know who won. I guess I won.
You won. I guess I won for seeing that.
I think we all won. You, me, And everyone on the internet won. And then there was some, and to Han's point, because she gave Ryan options for a dancing pose, I also went up to Ryan for 2 dancing poses. And I was just like, I don't know, let's just do some kind of like pose. Mm-hmm. And the guy just starts dancing with me, which was great.
You guys were dancing. I saw it happen.
Yeah, I blurted out bachata without even like really thinking about it. So that's one of those experiences, right? When you're just kind of like, oh, what do I say? Word vomit. So, I mean, it was either bachata or some kind of salsa pose. It was between the two. So I was just like, bachata just came out of my mouth. And then he just started to do the shuffle with me. Yeah, that was fun. And then we did a twirl op. So that was cute too.
That was very cute. I saw that happen. I was in line right behind you.
Yeah.
You guys practiced first.
Yeah, we did a practice one and then an actual one. Yeah. So that was cute.
It was very cute.
He's such a good sport about these.
It really was.
Oliver, also a very good sport, because we excluded that.
Just
we excluded that man twice. So what had happened was the first op was with the 3 of us and our friend Alexa, and because no one else had ideas for this op. We bought an op with Ryan and Oliver for the 4 of us, and then no one had ideas. And I was like...
We're like, what do we do?
I was like, well, everyone went to sleep and I was awake. So my idea was we sort ourselves into Buck and Eddie girls because we're all Eddie girls. And I just think it'd be funny. So I went up and I was like, hey, can you guys like stand here and here? There was some confusion. I was like, because they were like, what? And I was like, can you just stand apart, like stand here and here? I had to direct them where to stand. And then I was like, okay. I was like, now we're going to sort ourselves into Buck and Eddie girls. And then we all went over to Ryan.
And Ryan was shocked.
And he was shocked. And what did Oliver say?
Wait, all of you?
Yes, all of you? He was like, all of you?
And Ryan was like, I was shocked too. It was really fun. And then later, when it was just the Oliver ops, I realized, oh shit, I'm doing this to him twice because I got 2 ops with Oliver and one was just a regular hug. And then my second Ryan and Oliver op, I was like, I'm just going to like hug Ryan and have Oliver look put out because that's just like a classic supernatural like pose to do. And I was like, that's pretty funny. And I just think it would be like, it would play really well for Oliver and like his like
catching Stray's face.
Catching Stray's face. I was like, it'd be so funny. And he likes to be bullied. So I think everyone wins here. So I went up and I was like, I'm so sorry to do this to you a second time. But
are you
stand there and look put out? I didn't realize when I picked the other op that I was doing it to him twice.
You're on his bad list now.
No, I'm not. He was a good sport about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, then Sil went right after me.
I watched that happen. I watched her leave. I looked at Oliver and I felt something. Because I am not someone who like, no, I feel bad. I always feel bad. I was just like, I just go up to him. I think it was really funny because I think I blacked out because I think I was just kind of like, you know what? We're going to do the reverse. And I think I kind of told Ryan, I really don't remember what happened. And then I'm like going up to Oliver. I said the thing that we were going to do. And he was like, I don't need your pity. And I was like, well, damn, okay. Like I start turning around. And he's like, no, come here.
Just and all so, very jokey.
Like, and so like we do the hug. Ryan's doing the cutest face ever.
Oh my God. Yes, which I turned around and saw because I was like, I wonder what Sil's doing. Because like you're supposed to leave the room right after you're done with your op. But I was like walking towards my stuff, turned around
backwards.
And I was like, I was gagged. I was like shocked, aghast, like I can't believe.
Is that our Sil?
Our Sil is doing this. And then I like saw him do the saw him do the whole like demeanor shift like of with like the slumped shoulders,
like a sad baby.
And so it was so funny.
I know. I feel so bad, especially after looking at the photo. Looking at the photo is just so funny because like he's looking really dejected and then Oliver looks way too proud actually.
Don't like, bro, you still lost today. That was still only 1 out of 3.
No, it's funny. It's so funny because I'm like, okay. I mean, I didn't think about it right then after seeing the photo op, but I'm like, don't worry, I'm going to get you back, bro. That's pretty much it for autographs.
Oh my God. Yeah. So like those, and that kind of op is fun for everyone. Like even the person who's like acting like, oh no, I'm so put out. Like they're not actually put out. They know it's in good fun. So we don't need to worry about them feeling.
No,
but the thing sad.
Is, it's so funny because I think I let go of Oliver and I like shifted and I kind of looked at Ryan. He's looking at me and I'm just like, I love you. and he gave me he gave me a side hug and then I left. Yeah. I was just on my merry way because I was like, the volunteers were about to start.
I'm pretty sure I apologized to Oliver again when I left because I did feel really bad that I did it to him twice. I was like, I normally would have only done this once, but I couldn't. I just think that face of his is really funny. And
it is.
I like looking at it. So I orchestrated it twice, apparently.
You know, that one where he's like, that wasn't necessary.
It didn't feel necessary. It didn't seem necessary. Yeah. It's like he does the shrug and the, I don't know.
Yeah, but generally they were so, I gotta give kudos where kudos are deserved. They were so up for kind of anything within reason, I'm sure. But because we didn't know exactly what they would be down for because they hadn't done one of these before, we didn't have any like basis for them. So we did like have our alternative poses, and I was just like, just go for the hug. But they give great hugs.
Yeah. And then a couple of
always really good.
Our group ones, I don't really remember what they said in response, but like there was the one where that one I do remember a little. The one where they're hugging all of us. So like Rachel's in the middle, and then Scylla and I are hugging Rachel, and then Ryan and Oliver are hugging us. I think
that was the take a buddy with you.
Yes. And I literally was just like, we're going to hug each other. You hug us. That was like the easiest direction I had for them all day, actually, for the group ops. Because they understood that assignment, I think. Or at least Ryan did. I think Syl said you had to like bring Oliver's arm over because he wasn't.
No.
Wait, did you?
No.
Was it that one or a different one? Was it? Oh, that was for the hug behind. I don't know. One of them you said you had to drag his arm over.
I didn't have to drag anyone's arm over. I had to demonstrate to Ryan what I wanted. And he, A++, man.
Okay. Different op then. But yeah, so that one went really fast and I thought the picture was about to be taken, and then Ryan was like, wait, are we leaning into this? And then he just laid down on me and I was like
put his head on your shoulder, and it was lovely.
So cute.
And I couldn't see any of this happening because I was in the middle and I was just like, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on, but this is great.
Another funny thing. Sorry, I forgot this little tidbit at the arm wrestling op. So again, I gave Kenny some cash, right? Well, I gave him $1. I gave him $1. I was literally, we were done with the op and I was literally turning around to leave. I had the $1 in my hand. I'm like, wait a minute, Kenny, give me my money back. It's like, bro, give me my money back. Ryan and Oliver turned, looked at me, and they bursted out laughing. Kenny's like trying to pocket it. He's like, here you go.
Of course he would.
Yeah. They're so fun.
Incredible.
They're really fun.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the one where they're hugging each other? You got to tell them to get low.
Yeah. So that was the other one that, like, I don't remember exactly what they said, but they definitely were like trying to rib me in some way, because like the one where like they're hugging each other and Syl and Rachel are hugging them, and then I'm like, I have my arms on like around all of them. Obviously, I'm not taller than Ryan and Oliver.
Yeah, like you're behind everyone.
Yes, I'm 5'10", so I'm pretty tall, but I'm not as tall as them. And definitely not tall enough to like get my head above theirs without them crouching down. And I was like, okay, you guys hug each other. They're gonna hug you, and I'm gonna get. So like I was there, but their heads were like here, like up at my nose, and I was like, guys, you have to get down. Like you have to get lower. And I don't know if that's exactly how I phrased it.
You were definitely saying lower. No, it was lower.
Like lower, guys. And like they were like ribbing me like I was saying something dirty or outlandish to them. And I was like, you're literally just too fucking tall. Like, please just get lower. So that one was really fun just because it was like literally like I had to keep yelling
like
at
in
them.
Increments. They were in like lower. Yeah. Like more.
So when you look at it and they're kind of like their legs are kind of like crouched
into each other. It's
as
so
they're hugging
funny.
each other. That's why, because I needed to get up above them.
And Schmelke did a good job because he did take the picture from a higher angle. So it's like I will also help.
And Ryan was just like crouching lower
to get on everyone's level.
Yeah, for everyone's photo ops. Anyways, I saw so many where like he's a tall guy, I'm a short person, and he got like to my eye level. I'm like, you don't have to.
He's just getting his squats in.
Yeah. In jeans.
Jeans and cowboy boots.
Yeah.
No, the other thing about Ryan is that almost every time that I walked up and it was just me or like me at the front, the man wanted a hug. Like he opened his arms for a hug,
Yes,
like
he
with
did.
my back to the camera. So like not for the actual pose. And I think I gave it to him every time, or like I at least put like an arm around him and was like, hey, blah, 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 blah. This is what I want to do. That's kind of what I did when I went up for the pose that I was like, do you want to do a hug or a dance pose? Mm-hmm. But I saw while I was waiting in line, like he was reaching out for a hug and people were like, I don't know, obfuscating
kind
him,
of dodging him.
And I don't know if it's because they thought like that would be the pose or what, but I was like, man just wants his hugs. Give up.
Yeah. That happened to me. That happened to me a couple times. So like he saw me, he had his arms wide open and I was like, dance pose. Because like, I'm like, I'm like thinking they're going to take the picture. They're going to think that's the pose. I didn't even say anything. He's just literally here trying to have a good time and people are swerving him.
No, so like with that, when the guest or the actor like goes to give you like a hug, hello, like it's totally fine to do that.
And
just
if your back is to the camera, they're not gonna take the picture.
Yeah.
Unless you're like, this is the pose I want, please take the picture.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, but don't take advantage of that either. Don't just like go up and try and have a whole conversation with your back to the camera because the handlers will move you along.
Yeah. But like, if they go in for a hug, you can give them a hug. It's fine.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes they're chatty and it's like, you're trying to move them along too.
Sometimes you got to move them along. Because they're just all yappers, man. They all just want to chat. And it's like, this is not the place to chit chat.
Like we know we're also yappers, fit right in here.
That's literally the fucking subtitle of our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I taught Oliver Stark what bisexual finger guns are.
Oh my God, thank you for your service.
Oh yeah.
I just was like, can we do bisexual finger guns? And in my head, like when I was planning this up, I was like, should I just say finger guns? So I don't have to explain it. But like, I'm just so used to calling them bisexual finger guns. I did. And he was like, what? And I was like, they're just regular finger guns for bisexuals. You should know this for Buck. And then he was like, okay. So now he knows what bisexual finger guns are.
Buck doesn't know what constitutes a meme. I think you have to.
This is why I didn't ask to do the Spider-Man pose, because I was like, if I go up to them and say, let's do the Spider-Man like meme pose and
with like all of the
any of them, like I mean, Kenny would know what I meant because Kenny is cool. But you know, Ryan would probably know too. But I was like, if Oliver Stark looks me in the face and is like, what do you mean? I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to leave.
You should try that one.
Actually, that would be funny.
If he doesn't know what it is, I'm going to be like,
story for the bit.
For the story. If he doesn't know what it is, I'm going to be like, you just go to the side. Get out of my photo. I don't want you here.
How would you do that anyway? Would you do like a buddy op and be like the Spider-Man?
That was my because I was thinking of like the no touch like alternative, and that's what I was thinking was like the buddy op like with them. But maybe I should just do it. Maybe I should just do it with Ryan and Kenny.
Oh, true.
That would be funny. So basically, just like have fun with the photo ops. Be a little creative because that's also going to like fuel their energy as well, and it's a little like less monotonous. But
she says is the person who only got hugs.
No.
Yeah,
Hold on. In her defense, she did a photo op with me and Ryan.
Oh yeah.
And we did a little cheek pinch on him, and he had the cutest little face. Like, you know, it was cute.
Oh my God.
So, no, it's not only just hugs for her.
Okay.
I was so proud of myself because I was the director for that one.
Yes, you were. You took control on that one.
I said words. I'm so proud.
Just stood there.
I did. Because sometimes I'm an extrovert, but sometimes I get a little shy. Imagine that. I know, like brain explodes.
You might not believe it. And then you watch it happen and you're like, well, she wasn't lying.
I know. See, this is what I was saying. But yes, I was very proud of myself because Stella and I went up to Ryan and I was just like, can you just be like really cute and just like look like this or something with like your hands, you're like holding your head and holding your chin in your hands or something. And we're going to pretend to pinch your cheek. And he was like, yeah, of course.
So funny that he also crouched down for that one. So it made me me the tall person in that photo.
I know. It's like my arms
funny.
are short, but they're not that short. I can reach up, but no,
We're gonna have to do an op with him where I'm just
level.
like stand up straight because TJ was like, this man is shorter than you. And I was like, he's not. And he was like, he's shorter than you in every picture. I was like, but he's not.
You got to show him the unedited ones where you can see him like
crouching down. Yeah.
I think TJ just wants to claim short kings, but I'm like, he is not a short king.
Okay.
So sorry, TJ.
No. Yeah. I can't wait to teach Ryan what a Shanapunum is.
Oh my God, have fun with that, you guys.
Shanapunum. We have to wait until Nashville, apparently. Anyway.
I wonder whose fault is that?
Oh. It's your fault for going.
It is Phil's fault, actually.
It was just gonna be Han, it's your fault for going. And then
like you guys wouldn't go if there was one that was like 2 hours from you, a RescueVerse con. Anyway, okay, so in addition to photo ops, you can also get selfies, which you could sound like what they are. It's in a different area than the photo ops, but it does have a backdrop that says like RescueVerse behind it. And then you can either take the photo of you and the actor, or you can have them take the photo. You can also have the volunteer who's running the selfies take the photo. But
like if you're gonna have the volunteer take the photo, like you might as well just get a photo op and get
a photo op. It's a little more money, but it's not that much more money. And I would recommend just getting
but like
the Schmelke experience.
The selfies are a nice, lesser expensive option if you are really on a budget, and it is kind of like a little more casual. It's not quite as like go because the lines aren't as long as like the regular photo ops, but you also kind of run the risk of not all of the guests having the selfies or offering the selfies. Like Oliver didn't have selfies being offered, so it just kind of like depends. You may not be able to get everybody in that way.
Yeah, so for RescueVerse, the ones that are actually going to, our 911 guests who are actually going to do selfies, it's going to be Kenny, Aisha, and Ryan. Yeah, so our selfie experience was a fun one. I was supposed to do Kenny's, but I missed it, so I was able to get it credited back for a future convention. So just keep an eye on the schedule, guys. That day was crazy.
Yeah.
But we did do selfies with Ryan. You'll have the option of either having yourself, the actor, or the volunteer to take the picture for you. And like Rachel said, it's like it's a more casual experience. So there is a little bit of time that you can kind of chat with the guest. I mean, honestly, Ryan just likes to talk. I don't know how Kenny was, but I'm going to assume that Kenny would have talked to us too. So
Kenny's also a yapper.
Yeah, he yaps too. So that was the experience.
And I think Ryan was like, I don't know if he brought it up or what, but he was just like, when am I seeing you guys again?
Yeah, he did.
We're like, oh.
And I was like, you'll see me again in New Jersey, and then all of us in Nashville.
Yeah. Now
he seemed excited about it.
He did.
Now you're a liar.
Now I look like a liar. I'm just gonna be like, surprise! Here's some Sour Patch for lying to you or something.
Please don't say anything to me about how I said I wouldn't be here.
Yep. Actually, please don't even act surprised that I'm here. I'm just here.
Yep.
Because these are all bad financial decisions.
Oh my God.
I am here now.
But yeah, I personally would recommend selfies and having them take the selfie. Ryan took really good selfies of us.
Yeah. I will be.
He took like a bunch.
He did. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get Ryan to do it this time because I did not like the way you run the risk of the volunteer not doing a good job.
Yeah. Like if you want a good professional photo, go to Schmelke in the photo op.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the selfies are just kind of like
do a selfie.
Casual.
Like,
oh, look who I found on the street sort of thing.
It's my bestie.
Yeah.
It's
my best friend.
And then another thing that you can do is autographs. And this is the place, friends, where like if you want to say more than, hey, here's what I want to do for a pose, this is the place to do it. Sarah from Discord said, like, did you have more time to chat with them during photos, autos, or selfies? I assume everything is super fast because of how many people there are. Yes, correct. It's fast. But autographs is the best place to do it. As long as the actor is talking, the handler isn't really going to push too hard to like get the next person up unless they're like in a rush to like catch a flight or something. Then they are trying to like push it through. But
that's the only time that the autographs have really rushed. I know autographs, like for some of the supernatural conventions I've gone to, the autographs end up taking a while. And it's usually like at the end of the day. So like it can, but then the guests are able to take like a little more time with you.
But I would say if you want to say something to them about like, hey, this episode you did really meant a lot to me, or, you know, if you have a comment or something that you want to say to them that's, you know, like respectful, not trauma dumping, stuff like that, this is the place to do it. I wouldn't recommend trying to like say that kind of stuff to them at Selfies or at photo ops. It's just like not the time or the place. They don't have time to really like respond, process, have a conversation. This is where you would do that.
Yeah. But again, just like be respectful of like their energies and how many people like they have to meet and speak with. So like even if it's emotional a little bit, that's okay.
That's
it's just
fine.
Like you don't want to like emotionally dump on them. But that's just like par for the course, like fandom etiquette.
Like I very generally broad strokes told Brian like why Dia de los Muertos meant so much to me. But like I wasn't like, here's all of my trauma and how this specifically helped heal that for me.
Just like,
you know,
bullet points touched on. Yeah. And it's also really nice because you do get to see them like face to face. Well, obviously in the photo ops you do too, but like you can really,
you don't have to think about doing other things because like you're not taking a photo. You don't have to think about someone with a camera being there or like, yes, there's a line of people behind you, but this really is like only one or two people are right next to you who are just like waiting to go next. And there's a little bit of space there.
You can kind of talk a little more freely.
Yeah.
Generally, I think we found, I didn't do Kenny's autographs, but the three of us did Oliver and Ryan's together. And they were just such active listeners.
Yeah.
Like they were really present and hearing what we said to them and kind of like wanting to hear what we said.
Yeah.
So, and that was really nice because it was just like a feedback loop of good energy and good vibes.
Yeah.
It's also a good idea. Like, for example, if you're the kind of person who's nervous and maybe you do have something to say, but you're scared of like forgetting what exactly you want to say, I would, you know, prep a document or a note and be like write out what you want to say or write out any questions that you have. And you know, when it's time, well, try to remember it before you go to talk to them because I don't think you can actually have your phone out, right?
No, you can't.
Yeah. So you can't have your phone out, but like have it written down so you have something to look at before you go and talk to them.
Yeah. Like practice it a couple times, just kind of like, so it feels a little more natural than like, shaky, you know, which like
me.
Inevitably happens a little bit anyways. And I'm stumbling over my words, but
yeah,
because they were really patient with everybody as well.
Yeah.
And just lovely.
Another experience that you can get are meet and greets. And this is generally like you in a room with 9 other fans and the actor. This is only ever one actor. This isn't like photo ops where like you can get different combinations and group ops. It's just one actor.
Mm-hmm. And so about 2 weeks in advance of the convention event, the meet and greets go up for auction. And it's a Dutch auction, so it's a little different than like a regular auction. It is a little confusing. How much do we want to go into strategy here?
They give you advice and information on their site on how a Dutch auction works. And you can also like do your own research. But I would absolutely like make sure you go into this with some strategy on like how much you're willing to bid and when would be the best time for you to do that. Because the earlier you bid, the more it drives up the price. So just something to consider. Do your research, decide what's best for you. If you win, you need to be able to pay the money that you agree to pay. You cannot pay like with Klarna or other payment plan things. You have to pay for it on PayPal.
Yeah, it's like all up front.
So make sure that you have the funds available through PayPal through either like your debit card or your credit card.
Yeah.
Because I think also if someone cannot pay for it, they'll go down the list of like the next person who like the next bid that was not included in the 10. And also just like something to keep in mind meet and greets are very specific in that they are the, I think, only kind of like activity event thing that has a verbal NDA.
Yeah.
So basically Fight Club rules. Do not talk about the content of the meet and greet. You can say that you went and you had a great time, but
can't talk about what was said.
Yeah, to help like preserve the guests' candor and like comfortability, because it is so much more of an intimate setting, because it's like 11 of you.
Yeah.
And maybe 12 because there is a volunteer there or a handler there just to kind of like oversee everything. But other than that, like you can't talk about what was said outside of the meet and greet, but generally the meet and greet is like an opportunity for you to ask questions. I think it varies from guest to guest. Sometimes it's a little more like Q&A. Sometimes it's a little more like conversational. So it really just depends on the guest and the rest of everybody in the meet and greet.
And you really be careful about, if you do these, do not talk about what was said in the meet and greet, because I've seen people like post literally bullet points before. And they literally, there's an agreement like when you're bidding on it, like that they can ban you from future ones. So just like make sure that you're respectful of the actor and their time and creation, who's providing the opportunity, like, and yourself, so you can continue doing them, because it is like a special cool thing that you get to do. It's 30 minutes where you get to like
talk freely, basically. No distractions.
Exactly.
Allie Joy from Instagram asked, did we do any meet and greets? If so, how were those?
We did.
And Kenny is the love of our lives.
Yeah.
And we're not sorry about it.
No. Coming out as Kenny stands, first and foremost.
This is why we're going to rebrand.
Yeah, so we got the three of us and our friend Alexa. We're able to get into the Kenny meet and greet. And it was just so nice. Like, he's so cool. Like, the coolest.
We already knew that. We knew he was the coolest. We knew he was the funniest. And like, he didn't disappoint. We can't talk about anything that was said or that happened, but it was so much fun. And now we're just like, well,
we're charmed.
You know?
This is why we will be the Chimney system.
Yeah, so also just complete forewarning, if you end up getting like having an interaction with a guest like during a group photo op, or you know, something that you weren't necessarily like intending on, and then they just turn out to be like the most wonderful person ever, be prepared to spend more money to see them the day of. Because that always happens.
It wasn't that we didn't want to do stuff with Kenny. It's just that like we had planned on already seeing him in Nashville, but we were like, but we gotta see him.
It's like, now we have to
see him more than the one op that we were going to see him for.
Like, so we couldn't get enough of him.
No.
Yeah, because the meet and greet was at, 9:30 right after the Buddie ops.
Oh, it was at 9.
Or it was supposed to be
technically at 9, but because so many of us had the Ryan and Oliver duos. So it was like the second thing that we did of the day. And then we were just like, well, that can't be it. We have to see him more.
We did have the op with Kenny, Ryan, and Oliver, but they were going to do a Kenny op together. And I was like, what if we buy another op and I'm in it also?
We're like, okay.
We're like literally in the line to get it, buying the op. Literally, autos were right after the panel, and I was like buying a Kenny auto. Like,
so that will happen. Just like factor that in. We'll talk about that with budgeting, and
especially if you have a meet and greet with them, I think. And then VIP is something that you can bid on as well alongside meet and greets. You can only get this if you also have a gold pass. And then I think the VIPs get to go at the beginning of every line for like ops and autos and selfies.
The VIP treatment.
You obviously, because you have a gold pass, you get your nice gold seat. But then you also, as long as the schedule permits, get a 10-minute VIP meet and greet with each guest.
Yeah. So like even more kind of like exclusive.
Yeah.
And I think those are kind of built into the schedule of just like depending on how everything else goes.
Yeah. I've literally never done this, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't either. Some of this you can see on their website.
Yeah.
And then Strawberry on Twitter asked, besides the Q&A and the photo ops and the autographs, is there anything else to do? So Creation, I think we touched on this earlier, Creation offers a handful of other things. They have the vendor's room, which is like Artist Alley, where you can buy merchandise, some fan created pieces or officially licensed RescueVerse.
Yeah, official creation merch.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's usually a cosplay contest. I think I saw a couple people in cosplay. There was one person who was dressed up like Buck
with the blood.
Yeah, I saw their TikTok and it was really good. And I think they got photo ops with Oliver too.
Yeah, they did. I saw that. That was great.
Hope I didn't see the cosplay contest because we were running all over the place.
We just lived in the op room
for like
way too many hours.
3/4 of the day. But I hope they were part of the cosplay contest. There's also auctions that happen in the main theater. They usually auction off like the big banners they have on display and other things that I've never participated in.
People do with the banners. Like sometimes there's a script or like clothing item or stuff like that. I was at DC Con one time when they were auctioning off the outfit Jensen was wearing earlier in the day.
What?
They were auctioning off like a jacket that he was wearing earlier in the day.
I never heard of that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think that would probably be a special case and not a typical happening.
No, I don't think that's a regular. I think maybe it was something that he stole from wardrobe. I think that's what it was.
Okay, that might track, actually.
But I remember like some of my DC friends bidding on it and being like, all right. I don't know. I've never bid on anything at the auction. I always want to know what people do with those giant banners. I'm like, where are you putting this? Do you have like the highest ceilings ever?
I know, because they're big. They're big because they like usually cover the, the ballrooms.
But yeah, and we didn't attend the one for this, so I'm not really sure what else they're putting up that would be 911 related, but like we'll try.
Yeah. I think that was happening during autograph.
If our schedule permits the next time to pay attention to it, it was during autos. Yeah.
Yeah. But and I think those go like a regular auction where someone says a number and then someone says a higher number and think Sizzle and Spark. It was that kind of auction.
Yeah.
Typical auction. Then I think for RescueVerse specifically, or those things we just mentioned happen, I think, across all creation events. But for RescueVerse specifically, they also offered a painting party. So like one of those, it wasn't like a paint and sip, but one of those like instructed painting things. And I saw someone did, and she was able to go home with a cute little painting. And for Supernatural, they do a Saturday night special concert. But for RescueVerse, they're doing the Saturday night stunt show, which we did not get a chance to go to, but we saw some video afterwards from Creation socials, and it was not what we expected.
No, it was not. That was
it was a small sample size. Maybe it wasn't all of that, but like it was looking Magic Mikey up in there.
And we were like fighting Chippendales.
Yeah, we were like, maybe you should brand this differently if this is what this is.
Yes. So if someone wants to be our boots on the ground and take one for the team and tell us all about it, that would be great. Maybe you should go on New Jersey. Just to, get the full experience.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to say, circling back to the vendors room really quick, it was the first RescueVerse con and there weren't a ton of vendors, but there is someone who actually vends at all of the Supernatural or a lot of the Supernatural cons, and their shop is called Shit Anna Makes, and she's great, and she's selling 911 merch. So definitely check her out if you're going to one of the RescueVerse cons. Check out her website. She also sells the stuff there. I also think that if you're an artist or like a creator, that you could get a vendor's table, and definitely there's a need there. Like people want stuff, but there's not a lot of stuff in the room yet because it's just a con that's getting started. Yeah.
Fill out the vendor's room.
So come sell your stuff.
Creation does have specific rules and regulations on the things that you can sell. I think if you have questions, you could probably ask them, like email them about it as well. But yes, please, people who make things, be vendors so we can buy things.
We want to buy your stuff. I mean, like we do anyway, but like...
But then we'll be able to like see you face to face and like make those like connections. Like, oh my God, we ran into Brit's Geek Boutique.
Boutique.
Yes, Brit's Geek Boutique. We ran into her
from TikTok, and Etsy.
And they have like all of these beautiful stickers. You've probably seen them. It's like the stained glass stickers with the characters in profile and just like super cool. So people who make things, please send. We want to buy it. And I like buying it in person too.
Same.
And then there's also RescueVerse offers an introduction to film fighting, which is, we didn't get to do this either, but it's a 45-minute workshop to teach how to fight on film, including punching, blocking, kicking, footwork, stunt falls, and reactions and fight choreography. It looks like it's limited to 15 people, so kind of a small group, but it seems pretty cool.
So whoever does that, just get us video and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, what Sil said. Let us know.
I just thought of a great idea of something for them to do.
What?
But you know how for the supernatural ones, they have the Schmelke photography class?
Mm-hmm.
They should do that, but also with Oliver.
I feel like that's going to be behind a paywall.
Well, it is. Chris's is behind a paywall. It's like the event we just talked about. Like you have to bid on it. Or no, you don't. I don't think you have to bid on it. They just set a price and there's only X amount of tickets available.
Gotcha.
So like,
I didn't even know he was doing that. That would have been so helpful. When did he start doing that?
I went to one
a while ago. I've been to a couple of them.
Well, you should do one for RescueVerse.
That would be really cool if they could get Schmelke and Oliver to do it together.
I think it would be fun.
That would be chaos. But like in the best.
So furthers my agenda that they should be friends because they're both fucking weirdos.
Yeah, I was just about to be like, how do we further the agenda, the like Schmelke Stark agenda? Like, you guys should chat. You guys should be friends. You're both weird little dudes.
So here was supposed to be one of my agendas at Autographs was supposed to be like, I don't know if you had time today to talk to the photographer in the op room, Christopher Schmelke, but he's like an actual photographer. And I think you guys like, could chat about your hobby. Like that was one of the things I wanted to say to him and I forgot. So maybe next time.
Okay,
so a few things to know before you go to a RescueVerse con. We got a question from Nathan or Kato on Instagram about like budgeting and expensing. This is obviously going to be very like subjective to like you and what your actual budget is. But something that we will recommend is to try to purchase everything you need. Creation has their sales periodically. Follow them on their socials. Put them on notice. Sign up for their email list. Sometimes they even have a 25% off right before the con, but do not count on that.
Yeah, I think what happened with Chicago was there was an email sent out for people that had the Chicago admission, and it was like specific to people at that con.
Yeah.
So that's also a good reason to buy your admission first.
Yeah. But honestly, like when it comes down to like budgeting, it's basically prioritize what's most important to you. You need to have some form of admission. So that's like the first thing you would want to budget. Mm-hmm. But like you've got to like cost in like your travel and your food and all that stuff. But it really comes down to first like looking at what kind of admission you want. So there's different tiers that you can get for admission. If you go to creationent.com and you click upcoming events and then go to conventions and then you click on the RescueVerse con that you want to attend. Currently, when this comes out, there is New Jersey, which will be under Whippany, Nashville, which will be under Nashville, and Austin, which will be under Austin, I think. Yes. So yeah, then click on the one you want to attend. Then to purchase your admission, you do admission at the top of the page, and then you select which tier you want. So
what's great about Creation is they don't oversell their ticket. So like everybody gets a seat.
Yes.
Which I know doesn't always happen with some of the big convention companies. Like they just sell things.
It's first come, first serve for every other con I've been to.
Yeah. So that's another reason why Creation like is really tailored to like your experience. Everybody gets a seat who wants a seat. It just depends on how close you want to be and how expensive you can afford for your seat. So there are a couple different tiers. So gold will obviously be your top tier, and that's going to be the closest to the stage. There's a different price for the gold front row, so that's a little bit higher. But gold and front row are up there right up front, and with that ticket, you also get access to their exclusive gold panel, which is on Sundays. So I think for like Nashville, that's going to be Melissa O'Neill and Eric Winter, I think from The Rookie. And only people with gold tickets will be able to go into the theater to watch that panel. So no other tickets get that. And then you get silver, which is right behind situated right behind the gold. And both gold and silver have autographs included with the ticket. So it's not everybody. So you have to like double check who is included and make sure you read the fine print. So if like there's someone whose autograph you don't want to necessarily purchase a separate autograph when they're included in the gold or silver tickets, or vice versa. If there's someone that you really wanted and you don't want to mistakenly think that it's included and then miss out.
Yeah. And also worth noting, the gold and the silver passes both include admission to the Saturday night event, whatever that is. If it continues to be the thing that we listed earlier, or if it changes, whatever the event is on Saturday, that's included in the gold or silver admission.
And then copper is right behind silver. It does not include any autographs.
No, it's just preferred seat.
Yeah, it's preferred seat. But all three of those, gold, silver, and copper, encompass the entire event. So Saturdays and Sundays together.
You also do get priority in the registration line. So like they will take people for registration on, I think, Friday, even though the con hasn't started yet. I think registration, they still let you register on Friday for the full weekend tickets. And they obviously take gold and then silver and then copper and then the rest of the people. You also get called for autographs first.
Yes. So it goes by like ticket tier. And then after the gold, silver, copper, then you start getting into the preferred weekend, which is you get a specific seat. Like you pick out your seat, and you can do that for either like the full weekend for Saturday and Sunday, like packaged together, or just like a preferred Saturday or preferred Sunday, and you pick out your seat there. And then the general admission weekend, you don't have an assigned seat, and it's furthest back from the stage, but you do still get a seat. It's just not like assigned to you, and you can have that as either the weekend package for both days or individual if you're just going to the one. So the preferred and the GA are typically the most economical. And I think you do end up saving a little bit if you're going to both days. I think you save a smidgen when you do the package, the weekend package. And also just to let everyone know too, like even if you're in like further back in the seating, Creation has at least one, but usually two screens up at like the front of the stage that are like showing the guests and the panel. So it's like, it's a little bigger. So if you can't see them exactly, you can see the screens.
And it helps you be able to see them better if you're in the back.
Yeah.
All right. So purchasing your ops and autos, there are individual ops available. So just make sure you check their availability. So for our 911 people, we'll be in New Jersey, Nashville, and Austin, except for Oliver for Nashville.
To find on Creation's website, creationent.com, like once you go to the con site, to find like to get to the tickets, you want to go to like, the bar at the top and click guests. And then that'll give you the list of the guests. And then you can click check availability underneath any of them. And then that'll take you to the page that like has their autographs and photo ops and groups. And then you can start adding to the cart. There's also group ops available, which you can, I think, access the same way, or you can go to like the experiences tab and group photo ops. And currently these are for just New Jersey and Austin. You have the 911 cast photo op, which has all four of them: Aisha, Kenny, Oliver, and Ryan. You can do a duo with Kenny and Aisha, a duo with Oliver and Aisha, a duo with Oliver and Kenny, a trio with Oliver, Kenny, and Aisha, a duo with Oliver and Ryan, a duo with Ryan and Aisha, and a duo with Ryan and Kenny. They have all of these minus the ones that have Oliver for Nashville. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think they have a trio that's like Ryan, Kenny, and Aisha. And then
that'll be fun.
If you'd like to see other combos at future cons that aren't available here, you can email Creation and request it. It's not like guaranteed that they'll include it, but if they get enough people requesting it, sometimes they will add it on. So like if you'd like to see, for example, Oliver, Ryan, and Kenny, because that's something that they just like by default of Aisha having to cancel had at Chicago, I think that's something that they should include. Since they have the Oliver, Kenny, and Aisha, they should do one with Oliver, Kenny, and Ryan.
And that was really fun.
It was fun.
That's how Phil got that arm wrestling picture. And then also for travel, Creation usually has a block rate with the hotel that the convention is being held. So that's usually probably the best way to do it because you get a little bit of a discount there.
You can get to that at the top of their page under hotel on the com page, and then it'll show you the hotel and take you to the online booking link for that block rate.
Yeah, and it's usually right by an airport, honestly. like big convention hotels. So just prepare for that. And when you're looking at travel, something to keep in mind is that often the schedules during the convention days, they tend to run a little long or a little behind schedule just by nature of like how many people are there and, human stuff like that. So you don't want to miss something that you've paid for if like you're looking at flights out on a Sunday evening and autographs are typically like one of the later events that are offered. You don't want to miss out on an autograph that you purchased because you have to head to the airport. So just like keep that kind of stuff in mind.
Either or for Saturday too, because they go even later for autos on Saturday. Yes. So say you're just flying in because you're like, I'm only going to do Saturday because that's the day they're there. You might want to stay until Sunday because that's, it might be going too late or take a much later flight. Now, you might also want to make sure that you book some sort of transferable or refundable rate in case you're going to a con that's during filming season for them, because Chicago had a situation in which they had to move their day from Saturday to Sunday because they had to film on Saturday. So our flights were all supposed to leave earlier than we would have liked on Sunday. So we all ended up booking another night of a hotel and booking another extra flight home because we booked non-refundable flights. So don't be like us.
don't be like us. Book refundable or like changeable flights, especially when there's filming happening, especially with 911, because we know that tends to run a little.
Yeah, because their contract is all scheduled upon availability. So it's like Aisha had to cancel completely for Chicago because she had stuff to do. So it's like they did their best to still be there, but it's like they had to move it.
Yeah. Which like we still appreciate too. Like that they could have canceled and that would have been like understandable. Disappointing, but understandable. So just the fact that they like made the effort to squeeze everything in on Sunday was really nice. And yeah, I think the three of us learned our lessons to like get maybe a slightly more expensive flight because then you can change it, and don't do like I did where I just bought a completely separate flight and didn't go on the first one. And
I mean, that's what I had to do. It was cheaper that way.
I didn't refund anything at all.
Well, I would have had to, because mine was non-refundable, I would have had to cancel the entire round trip flight and rebook it, and it would have been way more money than just buying a separate return flight.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah.
So don't be like
Don't do that. Okay, so things to bring along with you. You're going to want like a binder or something hard to protect your photo ops. And you're going to want plastic sleeves to put your photo ops into so that they don't get scratched or bent.
Like they offered the little brown baggies, but like the plastic sleeves are so much better. And you want to make sure you have something like kind of sturdy or hard, like a binder or like a little portfolio folder to put them in that they will not get bent for your photo ops, or whatever you bring to get autographed as well if it's flat. So
this is another situation where it's don't be like us. And I would like to say that this was very like con newbie of us, but like I feel like the last time we attended cons, tickets were still hard tickets.
Yeah. It's been that long.
I think they're going to start doing hard tickets for this con though. I think that had the turnout and how kind of much of a debacle it was with everyone using like the digital tickets was part of the reason that they might start doing that. But just in case they don't, print out your tickets. I know that it says like add to Apple Wallet, or you can just like show them the ticket on your phone. If you have more than like a couple ops, it becomes very hard to keep track of very quickly, and it's just easier because you're not allowed to like have your phone out really past the entrance into the photo op room anyway. It's just kind of easier if you have them printed out.
Yes, much easier.
And if they don't have the hard copies of those tickets, you could definitely put it in your notes app and do like a markup. So like you can cross out the the op or autograph that you already did.
Oh, that's smart, actually.
Yeah. So just in case.
Instead, because like I took screenshots of all of the QR codes. So I had to like keep track of, and I thought I was being smart because I like took the screenshots of the QR codes in the order of the schedule that we got.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I know which ones to go to next. But like, if you have more than one of the same thing, then it gets a little hairy about like, oh, did I scan this one?
Yeah.
Or did I scan the other?
That or the schedule could change.
Yeah.
I think also, like, if they don't do hard tickets, what I'm doing for us, and this is probably not relevant for people who aren't insane like us, but like what I'm going to do for us is on the back of the thing, right? Like who's in the op and what our poses. And that's how I'm going to keep track of all of that, because everything else was like outside the op room. I was like looking at a literal spreadsheet that I made. And then I had to just remember it once we got in there, because you're not supposed to look at your phone. So just, yeah, absolutely print out your ops. Or if they have the hard tickets, make sure you don't lose those, because when they do the hard tickets, once they trade you like your online, QR code scan for the hard ticket, they're not replacing that for you. Make sure you do not lose that. Don't put it in your back pocket and then like put your phone in it and then pull your phone out and
keep it safe in a safe place. What I tend to do when I've gotten like one of the, I think usually I would go for like, back in the day, I went for like the copper ticket seats, and they give you like a little badge and lanyard. So I would put like my little hard tickets in there, because I would have that on me the whole time. If you're GA or preferred, they just give you a wristband. So you want to make sure that you have something to hold the important things.
Wick on Discord asks, how do you choose your photo op outfit? I suggest something that you feel comfortable and confident in. Comfortability is important because it is going to be a busy day and you're meeting actors from your favorite show. But also, like, again, you also want to feel confident. You want to feel like, yeah, I'm cool too, or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You do. You want to feel like secure in yourself. And
again, and also like, again, anything that you're comfortable and confident in, make sure like, I don't know, your clothes aren't itchy or aren't fitting the way you want. You know what I mean? Do like a trial run or fashion show at home.
Yeah, you sent us pictures. Han did too. Like sent us, both of you sent us pictures.
Send your friends who are going with you pictures.
Send the people that you trust their opinions.
Yes.
Because like Sil and Han, they sent pictures and we were like, ooh, yes. Like it was like a digital fashion show.
Yeah.
And that also helps with like packing, because then you kind of have those outfits planned ahead of time and you don't have to be like me, who brought too many clothes and was like, what do I feel like wearing on the day? So definitely plan it out.
Yeah.
I do recommend that trial run if you have time, because you just want to make sure that like you're not going to be too hot, or you're not going to be like, this is a little comfy, or I have to keep pulling this down or pulling this way. Like you just want to make sure that like you're comfortable and you're not feeling self-conscious in any way because of your outfit. You know what I mean? Like you want to be comfy, confident, like, and you don't, and cool, like literally you want to make sure you're like not going to be sweating.
Yeah. So like layers is also a good thing to bring, because like in the panel rooms, in the auditorium, they keep it cold because that's where so many people are at all times. So like I always bring like a little sweater, or like have a flannel to put over top of your outfit.
The op room is also kind of cold, but like you're up and you're moving around, but
so you don't feel it as much.
But you're gonna be like up and walking and moving around for everything that isn't the the panel. So you just want to make sure that like you're not going to be like schwitzing.
Okay, so the Scarlet Mermaid asked, were you able to give the cast gifts? And we did. Handmade like these lovely buddy system hats that we gave to Ryan, Oliver, and Kenny.
Yay!
I gave Ryan, Oliver, and Kenny some pins, some really fun pins, and all of these were done during autos. I would give them something small, like small things, so they can take them with them. But they will have a box to the side that they will put the gifts in.
Yeah, and I think just like anyone, they were all very excited to receive little gifts. So
they really were.
So yeah.
If you're going to give them food, make sure it's not homemade.
Yeah.
because
package.
even if they accept it, I guarantee you they're probably going to throw that away because they don't know you, or their handler will throw it away. So I would steer away from home baked goods.
Yeah, that's a good just rule of thumb. Things that it come in its own package. Okay, so now that we've gone through all of those things, we can give you kind of like a little preview or some insight into like what a day at the con is like. So Asking Ashley on Instagram asked, were there other stands for people to go see famous people? And they mentioned something about going to a different kind of con, and there were a bunch of booths of other people there other than the headliners. So this is not that kind of convention.
That's a Comic-Con setup.
Yeah, that's like a big Comic-Con setup. So with Creation, all of the guests are going to be scheduled for either panels or autographs or photo ops or meet and greets, that kind of stuff. And there's no like standing booths for you to just kind of like hop in line at any point. It's all scheduled.
And you also can't, like a regular Comic-Con, go up to their autograph table to just talk to them because they're only at their autograph table to do autographs. I know at regular Comic-Cons, you can just walk up without an autograph ticket to just like say hi. You can't do that at Creation Autographs. Like it's scheduled out at a specific time. They're only there to do autographs. So you have to have an autograph ticket to go through the autograph line.
Yeah. So it's really like distilled and smaller and not in that way. Like, does that make...
They're doing a lot of things at this con. They aren't just showing up and like doing a couple things and then have the rest of the day to sit at autographs like regular Comic-Con guests do. So that's not how it's set up. They don't even have like the space, I think, at these conventions to like really have that set up for them.
No. Yeah, because like MegaCon uses the Orlando like convention center. It is huge.
Brooke from TikTok asked when the schedule for the guests will be doing things usually comes out. So the RescueVerse schedule will be coming out normally the Tuesday or Wednesday before the con. So it is the week of. It's also scheduled to change or possibly run behind. They're normally pretty good about running pretty on schedule. I would say a Supernatural con runs anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes behind on any given con. But this one that we went to in Chicago was running behind, I think, because they started the day off behind because it was their first convention and they didn't have any hard tickets. And the first thing of the day was photo ops for everyone. So.
And just by nature of squishing everyone who was originally scheduled for Saturday into Sunday. So
yeah,
they like kudos to the schedulers for the convention for having to kind of like rework that Sunday, like with short notice. And so just like, of course it went a little long because they had to fit everything in that they would have originally fit for Saturday, also on Sunday when there are other people there. I think it ended up running about an hour-ish, which was frankly kind of impressive too.
Yeah.
Like they run a tight ship with that.
I feel like any other con company would have been struggling way worse.
Or just like, I've seen also where things just like get cut off and like, sorry, we're not doing that anymore because the time went over with other con companies. Creation doesn't do that. So generally, Saturdays are the really long days. Like it starts really early, it ends a lot later. There's also that Saturday programming. So they're long days. I think they typically start around 9 o'clock in the morning.
9 or 10. I think Sunday's actually an earlier day than Saturday. But you show up and you either register on Friday night or the morning of the day that you're or the weekend pass that you're going. And then you hopefully have already looked at the schedule. If not, they'll tell you to look at it because it's all digital now. You can download their app or you can just like look at the link to the like spreadsheet of their schedule.
I did download the app and I was looking and referencing the schedule on my phone with that. And it was kind of helpful because it has that option where you can like check off the things that like you have tickets for.
Yeah.
And then just like do that kind of view where it's like just the stuff that you're looking at.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful, I found.
You're going to look at your schedule and then you're going to build your day from there. It's going to be all of the things that we listed that are possible to do and whatever you bought to do. And then you're just going to go to those things at those times. If you have a conflict, you're going to talk to someone who works at either in the like photo op room if it's a photo op conflict, or in by the autograph conflict. You can always ask the people at registration, and they'll either help you or tell you who specifically to talk to if there's a conflict with two things that you need to do that you have tickets for. Basically, you're going to do all the things that we talked about, or whatever selection you've made of those, and it's going to be spread out throughout the day. Hopefully way more spread out than it was for us in Chicago, because that was all smushed together in like an 8-hour
yeah, that was
like speed run.
Unusual.
Yeah,
because of the squishiness.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they had to fly back out to be able to record the next day. So
yeah,
it was a lot. Basically, you're going to probably be doing a lot. You're going to be running around a lot. If you haven't been to a con before, make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes.
Bring some snacks and water.
Yeah.
You will get
They'll have water throughout the convention, like that you can just like go up with a little cup, or if you have a reusable water bottle that you can fill. Sometimes there's snacks at like if there's like stuff inside the hotel, but like Creation doesn't specifically sell any
provided. No.
So like, and it's also just cheaper to like bring your own snacks. So have protein bars or little candies or something because that you can nosh on.
Yeah, because if you are kind of going from one thing to another, there will not be time to like sit down and have a meal. So you got to kind of like eat on the run or like have a little nibble like during the panels. That's a great time to have a snack because you're sitting finally and just kind of like, oh, that's it. So definitely snacks, water, comfy shoes.
If you're a makeup wearer, bring your lipstick with you. Bring some powder with you. Maybe even bring like your damp sponge or like a brush with a little bit of like your concealer to do a little touch up if you need. Do not assume that you will have time to run up to your room in between things. It's good to carry that stuff with you. Yeah, it's just more running.
Even if the hotel is a little smaller, and it's like, I can do that real quick.
Yeah, no. It was not quick for us.
I had to run with my little legs.
Just enjoy it. Talk to the people around you. Make some friends. Take lots and lots of pictures with your friends, with your new friends of the panel, because you're allowed to take pictures of the panel.
Yes.
And post those all online. So
use the hashtags.
Use the hashtags, yeah. Helps people find it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if they're doing like event-specific hashtags, but I know Creation is using the hashtag RescueVerse.
Something else you should do at a con, unless you're at Austin, so sorry. But if you're in New Jersey or in Nashville, you should find us and say hi to us and talk to us because we'll be there.
And we want to say hi.
And we want to talk.
Yeah. So, Han, what you said a minute earlier about just like talk to people around you. Mm-hmm. Again, literally everyone who's there, you already have something in common with them. So like, it's so easy to just kind of like strike up a conversation and you never know like where that's going to lead or like what friends you'll make. So it's like the easiest like ease in or the easiest like lead in to conversing with your fellow fan.
Just adding on to Rachel's point, the RescueVerse conventions do have like Facebook groups that you can join. I believe some of them are run by Creation themselves. You can go ahead and connect with other people through there. Additionally, I mean, what I've done in the past, which is how I met Rachel, was I created a little like group on Tumblr way back in 2016, and had people join there. So other people who were going to attend the convention. Also, like some of your oomphs or your mutuals on Twitter. just like, you know, look around, see who's saying that they're gonna go and strike up a conversation, make plans to meet up. That's also kind of like an easy way to have a group before going, instead of like if you're like me who doesn't really know how to strike up a conversation to some random person, you know, try to feel it out first through the interwebs.
Yeah, that worked for us.
Yeah, that definitely
10 years later.
Yeah,
just like literally make a buddy.
Yeah.
Bring a buddy with you.
Bring a buddy with you.
And if you're not bringing a buddy with you, you can make a buddy there.
Yes, to bring with you to future ones.
Exactly. Because that also will happen. You will find a con buddy.
Yep. I think we have some questions from our buddies about our experience specifically. So we have from Costanza on Instagram. Besides the actors, did any other fans recognize you? What a wild question.
I love you for asking that.
They sure did.
The actors. Did any fans
They did. They sure did.
The fuck? Oh
wait,
my
that just
God.
hit me like how that was worded. I was like, oh wait. That's funny. They sure did.
Well, okay, so we told the story at the beginning about how Oliver clocked us our first op of the day, and Ryan was like, we can't talk about any of our Kenny experience from the meet and greet, but it was an experience. But if you have access to the internet and the YouTube video of the panel, you will see several spots in which Oliver Stark says, "Thanks, buddy system." And then you'll see another part where Kenny was like, "You should start," and pointing to us in the front row, unfortunately, "you should start putting it on your podcast. Tim listens to it."
And we were just like, we'll take that into consideration.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, we did include that in our wish list for...
We did
for 9, 14, and 15. So that was...
Because we're benevolent podcast hosts, you know? But yeah, so we did have other fans, because we're also fans. We'd had other co-fans who recognized us. I don't like being on this like other ring of
no.
It
was
weird.
so funny. It was so funny because we arrived there on
Friday.
Yeah. And the three of us are together. And we're just walking, trying to like familiarize ourselves like with the lobby of the hotel. And almost immediately we get someone say like, buddy system.
And we were just like, hi.
Like we didn't know what to do.
Like we did, like this has literally never happened to us before. Because like we've never been in a space that would happen, the three of us together. No. And then we were also like,
to find out,
does that person want to talk to us? Because like I feel like just like saying buddy system is not like an invitation to talk.
Buddy, like pointing buddy system.
Yeah.
We were like, what do we do?
Like we were friendly, but we were also like, this is so weird. What do we do?
Come to find out, this was Kristen on our Discord, and she like messaged on Discord, was like, I tried to say hi, I don't think it worked. We were like, that was you? Because like we can't tell from everybody's itty bitty teeny tiny like profile picture.
You have to announce yourself of like, this is who I am and my name, and I want to talk. Like, I want to know that you want to talk to me. If you just say buddy system or you say like, hey. I'm gonna be like, hey, and I'm gonna assume that you don't want to talk to me further unless you like give me some kind of indication that you'd like to talk further.
Yeah, or like at least tell us kind of like, hey, I watch your live streams, or I listen to your podcast, or like we're in the Discord, or
like something
that kind of just like tells us that you actually do want to talk to who you are, and that you actually want to talk to us, because like
not just like, hey, this bitch is with 1 million ops, I know you, like
yeah, we don't want to like interrupt your time at the con, so
yeah, but we would love to talk about like, the thing we make a podcast about. We like to talk about it.
Yeah.
So,
and we want to meet the people who listen to the thing,
guys. Yeah. So absolutely come up and talk to us. So yeah, but we did have other people throughout the weekend come up and talk to us and recognize us, which is fun because so like, cool. I don't think I've ever been I've been to so many fandoms and I've been to so many fandom cons. And the only way that people have ever recognized me is if like, we've already become friends. Like I've never because I've never attached my face with my like fandom presence. Mm-hmm. So like, even though if someone might have like, if I had, and someone would have been like, oh my God, I love your edits, they wouldn't have known it was me because I didn't attach my my face to my edits or something like that. So I don't know. It was cool and weird, and hopefully we'll be better at it the next time.
Yeah, it was a little bit of playing catch up for us because we were like, okay, wait, how do we operate with this? Because like you said, none of us, I think, have ever had that kind of like recognition for something. I mean, there have been people that I've recognized from other conventions, and I'm like, oh, I've seen them online. I've seen their TikToks or their art or something like that. But like, I've never been one of those people that people come up to and say, I know you. And I'm just like, what is this? Mm-hmm. But it was really exciting and gratifying to talk to actual like listeners of the podcast, because I don't think we've really had a chance to do that in person yet. Like we talk to y'all all the time on like Discord or the live streams, but that's all through chat, like not in person.
Yeah.
So that was really neat. And we may, like, if you come up to us, we may have to walk and talk.
Yeah. There were several people that were like, oh my God, hi. And we were like, oh my God, hi. Walk and talk with us because we were running around like crazy. But like, absolutely say hi to us, talk to us if you would like to. Costanza also asked, did you get to interact with the cast on other occasions besides the photo sessions, like at autographs? Would you like to share? Yes, we did. We saw them at, the regular. We got to interact with them at the panel, which we did not mean to do. And we also interacted with them at autographs, but I think I'm gonna save my autograph experiences for the most part. But they were, I gave the three of them their buddy system hats and just talked to them a little bit, and it was nice. They're all very not just like friendly, but like really active listeners and like engaged and funny. And it's a good time to talk to them.
And occasionally, I think you'll see a guest and their handler like walking through the halls sometimes from one place to another. I think at one point we saw Kenny walk by while we were in the photo op line. And it's just kind of really funny because, he's just walking by and everyone obviously recognizes who he is. So everyone in line is just like, hey, Kenny. And it's kind of like, a what do you call that? It's like a tunnel thing. Never mind. So it's just kind of fun because everyone's just like, yeah, just like walking to and fro. But that doesn't always happen in the wild.
What did y'all get? Photo ops, autographs, meetings, and what part did you enjoy the most? I think we can safely say we got everything except for like VIP. Like we basically did everything. We did photo ops, autographs, we did a meet and greet, we did selfies. We're not VIP gold people, so we didn't do that. But what part did we enjoy the most? I mean, I think personally for me, photo ops are always fun. So, but I am starting to appreciate the autographs more. But I think it's because it's this particular set of guests, like I think I have more to talk about with them.
Yeah.
This is like choosing between your children. I don't know. I like all of it. And I wouldn't want to give up anything for the other. Because they're all different like experiences. I would say if I could afford to just do meet and greets with all of them, I would just do that if I had to pick one thing. But we only did a meet and greet with Kenny. So I would say of like the best interaction would be that one. But like it's hard to beat 30 minutes of time in a room with only, like 10 people. So
yeah, it really like depends on where you place the most value and what you want to remember the most, right? Because I think the photo ops are so great because you can have these like really unique moments that nobody else is really going to have, or at least in the same way, even if it's like a similar pose. And you get the added benefit of having like a tangible photo to go with it to help like memorialize that.
Well, we didn't mention this. You do get a selfie normally in the meet and greets. Like I think Kenny did them individually,
and some people do them as a group.
But like Oliver's, I think was a group. Our friend Alexa did that one.
Yeah, I don't think we knew anyone who did Ryan's.
No, sad.
I know. So yeah, the photo ops are great for that reason. The autographs are again like a little bit longer interaction and a little more like one-on-one, almost a little more personal and intimate in that way. Because we didn't mention too, the autographs are also like behind a curtain.
Yeah.
Too. So not everybody gets to usually behind a curtain. I don't think Kenny was, but usually you get like a little more privacy in that way as well. And then the meet and greets are great because you get the 30 minutes. So in typical fashion, I say all of it. Oh, and the selfies are a little bit longer, a little more casual too. So it's just like, what do you place the most value for your dollar and your time?
You kind of have to experience what you want to remember until you can say, because like we loved it all. Our friend Alexa figured out that she didn't like love photo ops. I don't think she's gonna not do them, but I think she's gonna like prioritize meet and greets. So, but like it's different for everyone. So I would advise doing what you can afford to at least get the experience and find out what you do like, and like the professional photo op and like having the photographic evidence is kind of like hard to beat, like as a baseline to at least just get that one time with everyone.
Yeah. I do kind of agree. You kind of gotta try all of them before before you can really like, okay, yes, this is what I'm honing in on. This is what I'm going to spend like my money on. I mean, the meet and greets are a little harder to do, just kind of like
because of the auction of it all.
Because of the auction. But if you get a chance to do that, I say go for it because it's really fun. But the rest, you know, you just gotta like feel it out how what you like the most, what you have the most fun with. That's the most important part. So. Yeah.
Costanza also said, overall, I hope it was a positive experience for everyone. From the photos and others recapping, it seemed like a good weekend, and personally, it made me even more excited to meet them in June. And yeah, it was. I think it was a really great experience for us. Obviously, it really seemed like the three of them were having a freaking blast. Like they looked like they were having so much fun in the
time of their lives.
They looked like they were having a great time in the panel. Kenny had a great time in the meet and greet. I can say that. And that was his first experience of the kind. Like, and he had a good time there. So that's good. The autographs, they all seemed like they were having a good time. And Ryan absolutely was having a great time at Selfies. So I think they were having a great time. All of the fans seemed like they were having a good time. There was no drama there, which was great to see.
Vibes were great.
Yeah. Vibes were immaculate.
And you should go.
And you should go and experience it yourself and say hi to us if it's when we're going to.
Which is all of them except for Austin. Unless Rachel decides to be, her evil Gemini is going to come out and say, fuck the rest of you. I'm going to Austin.
I was going to say, I don't know if you want to keep this, but so like these are the hats that I made for everyone. I made them in different colors, but I made these with my Cricut. And then this is one that we're going to be selling. Yay. So we'll like put a link up for this hopefully when we post this episode and you can like buy it. But if you specifically want one like this or like the ones that are in the photo ops and you're going to be at a convention that we're going to be at, aka Nashville, because this is coming out too close to New Jersey. If you're going to be in Nashville and you want one of these, let me know and I'll make you one.
And for anyone listening and not watching it, it's the one that hand makes is like with the Cricut and it's what HP something. What's the vinyl? It with vinyl.
HTV. So it's heat transfer vinyl on the cotton hat. And then the one that is going to be for sale on a site is embroidered. Which I think is really cool looking, but I kind of do like the look of this.
I do like that one too.
So if someone does want this, I can't give it to you for free. But if someone does want this one specifically, let me know and I will make some to bring to Nashville.
Yeah.
The ones that are in our op photos.
Cute.
Okay. And then I think we were going to specifically talk about a couple of our autograph experiences, but we're only going to do that for our Best Buddy section because it's not something that we really want to like, you know, just like put out there in the world for everyone. So a shout out to our Best Buddies on Patreon.
Thank you so much, Erin, Alexandria, Alma, Amanda, Amber, Amy, Anna, Anthony, Asha, Aubrey T, Aubrey G, Candace, Sophia, Christian, Dana, Elizabeth, Ella, Eloise, Emmy,
Eveline, Gabby, Gracie Jane, Inika, Irv, Joey, Juan, Jules, Kate, Kel, Kenny, Carrie, Elizabeth, Kitty, Quincy, Leo, Leslie, Maya, and Millie.
Mishi, Nat, Patricia, Pigeon, Poppy, Rebel, Ridwa, Sarah, Sefi, Sheila, Sherry, Sunchi, Thedastus, TJ, Tristy, Vera, Wade, and Zachary.
We're about to start a mini segment about our autograph experience at Chicago RescueVerse.
It's exclusive to the Best Buddies tier of Patreon.
So if you'd like to hear special mini segments in each episode
and get a personalized shout out, subscribe to our Patreon.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. We hope it was really informative. And again, hope to see you guys at the next convention. You know, like, yeah.
Always come up and say hi if you see us. And we hope that this has answered questions that maybe you didn't know you had. Maybe convinces you to go to one of the RescueVerse cons if you're able to, because they're really fun.
All right. So remember, don't go to a RescueVerse convention.
But if you do,
take a buddy with you, or 2,
or 5.
Thank you for listening to the Buddy System podcast.
Can't get enough of the buddies? Subscribe to our Patreon for access to our Discord community, full reaction videos, and even more exclusive content.
And if you really want to make our day, leave a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
Please come yap with us on your favorite social media platform.
We're at Buddy System Pod everywhere. That's BUDDIE System Pod.
Catch you next time. And don't forget, bring a buddy with you.